Hi, my name is Krista Toney, and today I will be talking about professional soccer, also known as football. In soccer, there are 10 field players and one goalie. The 10 field players are allowed to use any part of their body that they would like except for their hands. And the goalie is allowed to use any part of the body they would like except for when they get out of their box, they're not allowed to use their hands. In soccer, there are no fights allowed whatsoever, and every player must use good sportsmanship, and they must have good language towards each other with no foul language. And if any of the rules are broken, a yellow card can be issued. And a yellow card is just a warning. And after a yellow card is issued, a player can be issued a red card. And a red card makes that player miss the rest of that game and a whole entire next game. Soccer games are played they are played a total of 90 minutes, and they have two 45-minute halves. And in between those two 45-minute halves, there's a 15 to a 30-minute break in between where the team can discuss what they've done bad and what they've done good. And there are no timeouts allowed in soccer. And the most overtime that can happen in the 45-minute halves is 3 minutes. And the equipment you need for soccer is you have to have shin guards, which the shin guards have to be 3 inches above the calf. And you also need to have soccer cleats, soccer socks, and a jersey, and you also need to have a soccer ball. And a lot of you have probably seen the World Cup. The World Cup happens every 1 in 4 years, and the World Cup lasts roughly 1 month. The World Cup has the most views, more than football, basketball, and baseball. And one of the famous soccer players was Pelé, and he has scored a lot of goals throughout his entire career. Pelé is now retired. And Pelé, he played for Brazil. And Brazil is the best team in the World Cup so far. They have won a total of 5 World Cups, and with Italy following right behind. Is there any questions?
Yes, you have to have matching jersey clothing.
Yes, every team has to have matching jerseys, matching socks, and even professionals have to have matching cleats, and the jersey has to match every player.
What about the goalie?
The goalie's jerseys have to be different than both of the teams. Usually it stands out so the players know who the goalie is.
Do you have a favorite player or team?
My favorite player would be David Beckham, but my favorite team is krista.
A lot of girls, well, even guys, they have piercings, and it's really hard to take them out because they're afraid of the holes, going back together. Is there a rule about jewelry or anything like that when you're playing soccer?
Yeah, none of the players on the team are allowed to have any piercings. This includes even if it's in your tongue, your nose, your ears, you're supposed to take out every piercings. You're not supposed to have any bracelets on, no wristbands, nothing like that.
What about the subbing rule for being a professional soccer?
In professional soccer, there can be subs in the first quarter, but the player's not allowed to go back in if he comes out. And in the second half, it's the same.
Well, I have a question. What happens when, the players are up front, like the opposing team, and it's like they're ahead of the other team? I get confused on that. What is that when they're, and they go, oh, they're offsides or something? Like, what does that mean?
When the ball is kicked going towards the other goal, the forward player, the striker player, has to be in line with the defenders. They can't be closer to their goalie. If they are, before the ball, like if the ball's in the air, the player can start running, but if the player still has the ball and they take off running and the defender's in front of them, they'll be called offsides.
I saw today at a soccer game where it was a PK, and what is that? It's like, oh my gosh, it's really like a free goalie kick. I mean, it's like nobody's there to stop the ball. That was like crazy.
Yeah, a PK happens when a defender fouls one of the players inside of the goalie box, and when they foul inside of that box, one player on the team gets to have the ball placed in between the box and gets to have a direct hit with just the goalie itself. Any other questions? Thank you, everybody, for coming.